Oh, Vince would lose his shit over Luchasaurus. Are you kidding me? Him and Barney would be like a tag team at WrestleMania, dude.
Oh my god.
That would be a fucking real thing.
He would probably.
This is what I don't like about you when you hurt yourself, is that you're so fucking casual about it. You're too casual. You just walk over and you're like, yeah. And I look down at your leg, it's just like a big axe chop. I'm like, bro.
With this,
hey man, like I said, if y'all can convince Cam, I mean, that's the vote that y'all got to swing. That's the vote y'all got to swing. If y'all can convince Cam, we are 100% going to go ahead and do it. The following podcast is scheduled for one fall. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MACKDOWN Podcast. Starring any combination of the following. Introducing Mikey MacD, Mr. B, A.J. Mitchell, Cam, and Kibben. MACKDOWN Podcast.
Oh, we're just flying by the seat
of
our pants.
Hey, it was a week in wrestling. We had a great holiday weekend. You know, we got to enjoy a little bit of free time. You guys went camping. I loved it. I decided to stay home and pretty much stone cold my house, so it was great. Got some great wrestling. All Out pay-per-view was this weekend. CM Punk returned. He had a great match with Darby Allin. It's been 7 years, you can tell. I'm definitely saying that.
There's a lot of mixed emotions on that match, and I feel like it's like a WWE versus AEW thing that's happening with it. Because a lot of if you look, there's like a lot of WWE folks that are talking shit about Punk, saying that was the worst match on the show. Like, what? This is the same show that you're talking about with Paul White and fucking QT Marshall, right?
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro.
They started it off slow because it was a great psychology mindset going into the match where let's not give them everything right away. We'll build it. We'll start it off slow. We'll get them, we'll get the crowd, building. And then once they're at the boiling point, now we start fucking doing the crazy shit. Now Darby's going to jump through the ropes and do the fucking, the little shoulder spear or whatever. And,
Right.
Then they're going to start doing more and more shit. For me personally, I thought it was very smart, and I thought it was a great way to bring Punk back.
It was in my opinion, I felt it was like a watered down or a light version of Seth and Edge. How Seth and Edge's psychology is. They start off real slow, then bam, 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 then slow it down.
Yeah. You have to do that. You got to ride the waves, man. It's a roller coaster ride. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. So I concur that the match pace was good. As I said, CM Punk has not been in a professional wrestling ring for 7 years, like as an active, everyday superstar. So with that being said, for him to still progress in that match, still keep the match going, and I probably feel he was probably not even calling the match. I bet you Darby was. And that's just because CM Punk was probably more comfortable in the wheelhouse of saying, hey, CM Punk is there to showcase the talent. He's not there to he's there to be showcased, yes, but he wants to showcase the other talent. Now he's going to get his W's, he's going to get his wins, he's going to get his losses, and I feel one day he's even going to get that belt sooner than later. I do like Bryan Danielson coming in.
So hard.
Yeah, it is. BD, I was just say BD. I do like BD coming in, stepping right up to Kenny.
That makes the most sense out of anything he could have done, to be honest with you.
I did appreciate the fact, too, that he was like, I hear this isn't the way we do things around here. Like, he made a nod at least to, like, hey, I know you guys generally, want to earn your way up to the title match, but he's like, what are you, scared? You know what I mean? But so I like how he acknowledged that, at least in his promo.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm not supposed to step right to you, but here the fuck I am, basically.
Well, it makes so much sense because, I mean, Bryan Danielson is more of a Japanese style wrestler than he ever was an American style wrestler. You know what I mean? I think with the Japanese styles, they're already going to have really good chemistry, I feel like. Plus, man, Bryan Danielson can wrestle with anybody.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. He can wrestle a broom. Go ahead, Kimmy. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was just going to say I do like his new look as well. New but same.
Well, you mean the Brock Lesnar look? Everybody's taking a page on the Brock Lesnar
It's
for
that,
men
it's
hair.
that 90s, man. It's that 90s coming back.
That's hilarious.
Hey, man, for Brock to start the show, I was actually surprised they put that shit on first.
So, last night, and I just want to let everybody know who's listening right now, we're remembering September 11th as a New Yorker. It was the really tough day, that whole situation. So, shout out to everybody back home. And New York, we love you, and I miss you. With that being said, SmackDown last night was probably one of the best episodes of SmackDown I've seen in over 10 years. It was probably one of the most exciting feelings I've had in a long time watching wrestling. I mean, from Brock coming out to acknowledge me to Trey fucking Young.
That
Dude,
shit was hilarious.
I died when he came out there. The last time he was there, I believe somebody spit on him and all that stuff like that. The
Oh
last
my
time he was
God.
in the garden.
Jesus.
So it was SmackDown last night. Kudos to you for stepping up your game.
Well, they
and
had to
making
do
us
something big for Madison Square Garden.
Yes, where you at? It's the garden, boy. You in the garden, boy.
Well, my favorite part was the Fiend coming out.
You mean the demon?
Or Demon. Did I say Fiend, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm still
It's
sleeping.
right.
Sorry.
Hey, man, I called that shit because when they had
Shit.
Roman, when Roman was standing on the ramp after the show was about to go off the air, the red lights popped up in the heartbeat, and everybody's like, "Oh, Brock," and I'm like, "Nah, dude, that's not Brock's shit, man. Brock is, there's no heartbeat. Yeah, that's the Demon King, which is cool. I was excited. And the crowd lost their shit too. And as soon as his whole shtick started, and the thumping and the lights and shit, dude, oh man, the crowd went nuts.
Well,
And that's
what
what I
else?
was saying. That is Finn Balor. Like you can't strip the Demon King from him because that's a part of his whole presentation.
Correct, definitely, and not to mention WWE kind of spoiled it by releasing merch on the website before.
They damn sure did, dude.
I saw
They
that shirt. And
damn
I'm like,
sure did.
I'm like,
Dumbasses, bro.
I thought they were gonna. I thought he was just gonna come in as a demon on the pay-per-view. I thought he was gonna skip though, but no, I did it tonight, and I'm like, okay, well that works for me too.
Dude, and the quality of whoever did his paint this time is like, whoa. That shit was
Yeah, it was awesome.
very well done.
He looked more scarier now than he looked almost
He's got
like
the beard, man. He looks more manly.
yeah, man.
I think that's what
He's a
makes the
man.
difference of that whole get up now for him.
His beard.
Yeah.
It makes him look a lot more like
Because
predatory.
without it, all you saw was his fucking white ass eyes.
Hell yeah.
That's very true. He definitely looks more like rugged warrior. Like
Yeah.
he's like he's about to fight the Predator, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like he looks like Arnold did in Predator.
Yeah,
1.
when he gets all mudded up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, do it.
What?
Hey, you know what I just realized?
Me.
We never fucking did the intro to the show.
I was gonna start, but you guys just you just ran right in, so I
what?
didn't like. There's no good place to cut us off here.
Well, I'm going to cut us off right
And then
here.
we went from the pay-per-view all the way to the end of the week of SmackDown, so I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Because everything else wasn't
Well,
the best.
that's why
Gimme.
you can edit.
Well, welcome to the
Jimmy,
MACKDOwn
what up?
Podcast, guys. Welcome to the MACKDOwn Podcast. It's an early morning.
Super early.
We have 3 in studio. One from a very local place known.
But also remote.
But just not in studio today.
Yeah.
And then, Cam, unfortunately, is missing today.
He was
I'm taking
booked.
over Cam's corner. This is AJ. This is AJ Jad we're in right now. That's where I'm coming from. AJ Jad.
So, yeah.
But yeah, I'm Mike.
I'm Mr. B.
Kimmy over here.
of course, AJ and AJ's yard, as I said before. Yeah, I don't like that.
Take us into it. AJ's yard.
All right, so AJ's yard, like we said before, we're remembering all the stuff that happened today because today was a very big day. We also talking about some great things: AEW, SmackDown, everything in between. We had a great pay-per-view Sunday. We can lead in with that if we want, but like I said, this right here, over here, is going to be a great MACKDOWN. Welcome to the show. And that's AJ's yard.
Oh, I like it.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking we were gonna get some like dirty sheet information or something.
He's
Oh,
like,
you want some dirty sheet information?
Oh, it's
Screw
cool.
you-
It's cool. We
Screw
can.
you, WWE, for releasing the Fiends. See, now you got me saying it. For releasing the demon stuff.
Wake up, man. Wake up.
Early.
I'm trying to.
So I don't like that. Yeah, I got my coffee over here too.
I'm on my
Listen.
second cup.
WWE is really lost, aren't they?
Oh, you heard Mick, right? You heard Mick. We've got a
did.
problem.
Yeah, WWE, we have a problem, and that's 100% facts, dude. If
When-
any,
where
if,
did he
if
say
they
that?
don't see it now, what's that?
Where do you say that?
He just posted
All
a
over
video
social media.
on
did he?
Twitter and
Oh, I didn't
Instagram,
see it.
and it was just
Well, yeah.
basically him saying like, he basically was just saying, you know, WWE is not the top, location. It's not the top attraction that people want to go to now. You see the way that they're handling the stars coming into AEW, and they're presenting them how they want to present themselves, basically. You know what I mean? You got free creative control on your character and the way you present yourself. So right there, the characters are already like, yeah, fucking yeah, that's where I want to be, because then
Yeah.
I can get over. You're allowed to be a pro wrestler and go legit get over.
But could you? I don't know. Is it too late though for WWE? Because they've been doing fucking this for what, decades now,
I don't think they're gonna
and
go away.
everybody knows and blames it on the writing.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
It's definitely
1000%.
with the writing.
That's exactly what Mick said. He said he wouldn't trust anybody in the creative with his career right now to progress at this current moment. He said back then, back in the '90s, he definitely creative was beautiful back then.
Well, that's
you know.
because they had input. They were allowed to give them the input on it.
Yeah, he said, but that was then, and this is now. And
Well, that's
yep.
Mick coming at it. That's his mindset coming from a pro wrestler's way of living and the way he sees things.
Yep.
Where it's now it's sports entertainment. So like you got these guys now literally playing a role. You're not allowed to be, like you said, AJ. You fucking, when you said it,
Okay.
I still say it every time we get on this fucking show. WWE is a TV show about wrestling, kind of about wrestling, but it's not really even. You know what I mean? The matches are just an afterthought, and that's probably why there's so many of them, because they don't literally give a shit. And for whatever reason, I think Vince Russo has convinced Vince McMahon that nobody gives a shit about the matches. Do you guys agree
Dude,
or disagree with that
no,
statement?
I totally agree with you, because I feel like that's where AEW is thriving, is that they're giving us as wrestling fans what we want, which is real wrestling. Because we were even talking about it like the fucking kitschy ass, like, oh, I'm gonna chop you, you chop me, I kick you, you kick me. They're even doing that kind of stuff in AEW to like bring it back to the way it used to be, the old school type, where this is professional wrestling, guys.
Let's get the crowd involved.
Yes, dude, exactly.
Well, shit,
Yes.
more times than not, AEW starts the show with a fucking match.
Which is fucking great to me.
Yes.
It starts the show hot, like
Raw starts with a fucking promo, someone in the ring or the backstage.
20-minute
Yeah.
promo to start the show. It's almost like clockwork every single time.
And then the same match from last week.
Monday night rematch.
And then the week before.
I think AEW is hitting the mark because they're giving the fans what they want, and not. I don't mean giving the fans what they want by like, oh, who we want to win is going to win, and who we want to lose is going to lose. Like, they're giving us professional wrestling, and that's why we're all gravitating to it so much, and that's why we're all so down. And we've even talked about how when Malachi Black came out, when Ruby Soho came out, they have a whole new energy, dude. You can just tell they're like almost like
Reborn.
cleansed and refreshed. Yeah, like.
Think about it this way. Remember when Chris Jericho said he left WCW and went to WWE, and he opened the doors? It was like I was stuck in the black and white world forever. And then when I came to WWE and opened the doors, it was like color, because I was able to just be myself and be that character and progress and excel.
Yeah.
It was
The
an
same
opportunity.
Right,
Back then,
the
it was a
same
legit
thing.
opportunity to go get over as a wrestler,
As a
pro
wrestler,
wrestler. You know what I mean? But you're not allowed to do that no more, and that is the downfall I think that WWE is having right now is until they take the handcuffs off these guys because they got legit talent in the locker rooms that can cut promos and hang and do all the things. You know what I mean? It just may not be what Vince wants for his face, quote unquote, face of the company.
Well, and that's like even where they way missed the mark on Adam Cole is another example of someone who showed up on his character. You know what I mean? Because if we were talking about it previously, how they were going to change his fucking name and repackage him as a manager. When he's one of the hottest talents going in the ring, dude. Like, the fans fucking love him. He's super fucking over.
How are you going to change Adam Cole's fucking name?
Well, I think
all because you don't want to mistake it with Michael Cole? Like, are you fucking kidding me?
He's been Adam Cole this entire time. How long has he been there? 2 years? 3 years?
Bro, he's been Adam Cole since day one.
Yeah. Well, no,
I'm saying
the
in
day
WWE,
start of his
though.
wrestling career.
Yeah,
No, I'm just saying, how long has he been
forever.
in WWE, though?
Oh, 4 years?
Was it 4 years?
I think
I
he's
thought it was
there.
like 3, yeah.
I think he's been there for 4 years. Or close to it. Close
Well,
to
I mean,
it.
all I'm trying to say is, my point is, he's been there 3 or 4 years, and no one's mistaken him with Cole yet.
It's just an excuse because here's what WWE wants to do. They're like, okay, well, we have this role, and who's going to play it? You need to fit this role.
Adam Cole.
And they don't even do that anymore. They're just like, nope, you know what? You're Kimmy, you're going to be you're from Russia.
Kimmy. That's what they're gonna do. They're
You're
gonna
from
change
Russia.
your whole name.
No. She's from Russia. She's got to learn an accent. You got to. Oh, by the way, you play the ukulele as well. You're a Russian ukulele player. That's a choke out artist.
Right, but I don't do
We don't
Russian
care.
accent.
We don't care. Figure it out, or you're fired.
Right. So
See,
that's WWE's
That's
mindset.
how they do it. Yeah, that's legit.
That's it. It's character driven.
And AEW is like, who are you as a person? What are you excelling at? What are your fucking strengths? Let's play to that.
Yeah. What do you like? Oh, you want to cut this promo in this way? Great, do it. Love it.
And see what I mean by the concept of Kimmy. What I said you were Dewdrop is the fact of how they took her in UK, and she was good in UK. I'm not gonna
Piper
lie.
Niven, guys. Piper Niven. That's
That should be
I don't
her
even
name.
want to call her Dewdrop anymore.
Yeah, it's stupid, and it's like, why would you? You've already presented the character. We've already called you Kimmy on this show,
Right.
as Kimmy this whole entire time, and now we want to. Okay, so now we're going to be on TV. We got to change the whole concept.
Bro,
Like,
that's
no,
how little
that.
Vince McMahon thinks of NXT though, because he's like, literally nobody watches this shit. Nobody knows who you are, and it's like,
Speaking of
no,
which,
dude, that's
You don't
not,
watch this shit. You
right.
don't know who I
He
am.
doesn't watch it. He doesn't know what it is. He doesn't understand.
Well, he is now. He's going to know everything about it because the Brie brand is coming
Well, next week.
next week. Yeah.
Bro, the NXT 2.0 bullshit, I hate it. If they would have just left it NXT, that's fine. This whole 2.0 shit, dude, that never anything you put 2.0 or the new or anything like that fails, dude. Always.
It does. It does. Ask Matt Hardy version 2.
It sucks because NXT was strong enough on its own, and that was their hot shit, really. And now they're like, fucking smash
We're
it out.
squashing that. I mean, I think I'm gonna dig the presentation. Like the presentation is gonna be looks like it's gonna be more lit up.
And the color, the colors.
Yeah, it looks like there's a bigger bowl of fans,
It's AEW light.
a little bit tighter, a little bit taller. You know what I mean?
There you
So
go, Kimmy. Because AEW took NXT's colors. Because NXT was the black and gold, but now the real black and gold brand is AEW.
Well-
Oh, that's interesting to think about.
And that's probably why they did the rebrand, because they didn't want the confusion. The color scheme for both are so close if you look at it.
well, yeah, because the AEW has the paint splatter, like the crazy like toner splatter.
Yeah,
So-
but AEW does do that black and yellow as well. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I had it written. Well, yeah, I need to rewrite all that shit on the board.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same color scheme on their logo, not so much on their their call letters, I should say.
Yeah,
Not so
it's-
much on
yeah.
the shows and stuff, but the call letters are damn near identical. So I can see why Vince wanted to do a rebrand to separate, to show the difference. And it looks like they're going to that old school early 90s, 80s WWE multicolor. Remember the old school entrance had the different colors in the WWF logo? It was like red.
Yeah,
and
dude,
green
the
and
laser
blue.
bars.
The laser bars. right. So
WrestleMania
that-
8, dude, I fucking love that thing. If they
Yeah.
brought that shit back for like a retro, I would lose my shit.
Well,
I'm,
I mean,
I'm
it's kind
fucking
of in the
10
same
years old
concept.
again.
It's kind of in the same concept. That's what NXT is trying. In my opinion, their presentation, because we haven't seen the product yet. So
No,
I'm
I
assuming
think it's
here.
going to be like 1989 WWF, dude. I think it's going to be like
That's what I'm
Hogan,
saying.
Earthquake, fucking Repo Man. Like it's going to be, like you said, really heavy characters. Because then when they transition from NXT to WWE
It's simple.
or like Raw or SmackDown, it's seamless. It's Vince's creation. It's Vince's vision. Maybe it'll be better, dude. Who knows? Maybe the continuity itself will make it a little more palatable.
Thinking about it this way,
You know what I mean?
And this is where I'm getting at, because I'm starting to understand Vince's concept here. You became a fan in the '80s, just like I became a fan in the '80s, and everybody else, because there were these larger than life characters: Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
These were people that we were looking at like, holy shit, like,
Legit superheroes.
yeah, legit superheroes. We haven't had that concept in wrestling in a while because it switched. The Attitude Era switched it to make it more rugged and real and more on the level of an average everyday person.
Which is what we
Stone Cold-
wanted. Which is at that time, that's what we all were like
Right.
wanting. You know.
I felt like I could be Stone Cold, walk into my office with 2 beers and just flick off my boss and just say, "Oh hell," you know what I mean? In that concept of that character that was presenting for Stone Cold, it was him turned up to 10. The Rock, you know, how many of us raise an eyebrow? La 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 la. Smell what the Rock is cooking in school.
I
The
lived
DX
that shit my
chop.
whole like 10th grade year.
Exactly, and it wrestling progressed with us. Here's the deal, though. We are only at a certain level when it comes to the fandom. We do have children who we're presenting this product to. I know I'm presenting this product to my kids. If I was able to say to Akara, this is Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan was now, and this is the Ultimate Warrior, could you imagine you creating a whole nother 30 years of fandom right there with that 6-year-old?
Right, and that's kind of what that. I listen to Busted Open every day, right? And there's people that call into the show, and there was one dude pretty much said exactly what you just said, and it made me kind of flip the way I looked at it, because WWE has always been a product for kids, especially back in the Hogan days. Like, it was like super child driven, and then the kids, you know, would want to go to the show, so the parents have to go. So bang, you got your double, bang bang, you know what I mean? And then, but here's the deal, like you just said, you don't want some crazy, you know,
Nikki
bloody,
ASH.
yeah, well, naked women,
No.
like
Yeah,
you
right.
like Katie, what's her name? RVD's girl that was twerking basically on
yeah.
Impact.
When I saw, and I didn't even, and Carl was in the room watching this, and I was not even in the room.
Right.
And next to me, you know.
So WWE is presenting a product for kids that basically will hook them, and then you, being a wrestling fan, having AEW is like great. That's why I said I feel like we're reliving the WWF NWA days, where WWF was super child driven, super character driven, and NWA was the more, nope, this is this guy's this is his real name, and we're gonna fight you, and you're gonna bleed, and like it's more
Right.
geared towards like the you know, the
18
more mature
to,
audience.
18 to 49-year-old demographic.
Right.
Which is what AEW is going for.
Which
Because
is
guess what?
perfect.
18 to 49 have a job and can pay for their own stuff. And if you're a single man, most single men are wrestling fans, you know what I mean, who have the extra capital to go ahead and buy a ticket to go see a show, or have the extra capital to buy the game,
Right.
stuff like that. You know, when it comes to the children, yes, the parents are at that point, but in the retrospect, it's a better business plan to get that 6-year-old demographic, because then you have them from 6 to 30. I'd rather have 30 years of a steady income than just a short capital.
Right, and that's and it makes sense business wise. It 100% makes sense, because
Right.
if you got the kids, you have no choice but to get the parents as well. You know what I mean? But it's a family wholesome product that
Right.
will you know, gravitate to your kid, and they'll get the bug. And then you got a fan forever. And then you can grow up, and then you're like, oh, hey, let me show you this, and let me show you this, you know, and start introducing them to new things as they get older. So it's like, yeah, I get it, you know, and it makes sense.
I'll sum it up with this last statement. When we went to the show recently here in Denver, we went and we saw WWE live and in person. There were so many kids in there, it was crazy, and they were screaming, and it was crazy. It was all that. It was very kid based,
Yeah.
very kid, you know, subject towards. Flip the script. We watch AEW, CM Punk return. Grown men in there crying. Grown ass men in there crying. You ain't see no kids are just like, oh, he's back. Yeah, grown men. Us, we're like, oh my god, like
Right, and that's
like
why I
seeing-
feel like that. To me, having that AEW more adult driven content, it's more for us as the adult wrestling fans to appreciate the product and the art of pro wrestling. You know what I mean? Versus like all these crazy characters, because they're going to go out and put on killer matches. They're going to do the pro wrestling thing, and for us that are a little more mature, that want the more, mature driven
match.
stuff. Yeah.
I want a match. I want to see something good. I want to see people go out there and, wrestle. I want to see some wrestling. We want the content, baby.
Just saying. I drank a 911 from Dutch Bros. Shout out to Dutch Bros. Greatest coffee in the world.
Dude, yes.
Okay, yes.
Love Dutch Bros so much. Nutty Irishman.
Well, another factor in all that, everybody in whatever show it is on TV is trying to get new people into their show, or whatever it is they're trying to present to us.
Oh yeah, they're always trying to get more viewers.
So I think that's a big thing too, because they just keep on changing stuff, or characters.
Well, here's my problem with
Don't
WWE.
give them a chance to do their own thing, because they're so worried about trying to get more people in to watch their show and get bigger ratings and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're more worried about the ratings than the actual content itself, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So they're just like, what can we throw in here to get people's eyeballs on my show? And I
Throw
think
in
that,
Trae Young.
dude, and I think they're totally missing the mark on like their character development. If that's the route they want to go, they keep flip flopping between like, oh, we want to be hardcore, or oh, we're not. Like,
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna have bloody cage matches and make it all crazy. Oh, but Nikki ASH. That's where my point was coming in earlier.
Or like, like we're a children's show, but like you're a cuck and you have ED and
Right. And like,
Yeah,
you
it's
know what I
weird.
mean? So it's like, you can't really like keep, you can't make it kind of adult content and then give us some fucking character who's like, I'm a superhero. Like, it's so fucking stupid. And I'm so annoyed with her character because
Almost a
nobody
superhero.
wants that. Dude, hey,
It's for the
AJ, let me
kids.
ask you a question. Is it though? Like, does your daughter, does she go, oh my God, Nikki ASH? Or is she like, oh yeah, Shayna Baszler?
No, she does both, actually. She does it is drunk. She likes, oh, she's a superhero, Dad, look at that. And so it is, I'm not gonna lie, on the flip side of it, it is creating her to say, my 6-year-old to say, hey, yeah, that's cool, I like that, she's almost a superhero. And when she loses and stuff, Cara's like, oh, she lost, and things like that. Bailey turned bad, little kids were crying. Look at that difference. Bailey turned bad and kids were crying.
I think though, in my opinion, if they're going to go that route, Bailey is the perfect example of how they need to do that.
Okay, yes.
Just a happy-go-lucky, friendly fucking chick. Not
Yeah.
like some, I'm a fake fucking character. Like let them still be a person, not like, it just makes no sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, it just makes no sense to me. The whole like superhero thing makes it just, I'm still kind of baffled by it.
I mean, you got to look at it as this too. It's kind of a play on their advertisement too. The Connor's Cure thing. You know how they have all the kids dressed up as superheroes that have beaten cancer and stuff. It's a lot of marketing. WWE is a marketing machine, and they will market their product in every way, shape, or form, and link everything that it possibly can. Make a wish, the cancer's cure. I mean,
Well,
everything.
that's the same
promoted.
thing that Kimmy was saying, like back when you were like talking about Nickelodeon and shit.
Yeah.
How everything was built to just create content, and then that turned into, nope, we need to fucking sell. We
Yep.
need to market, and then it just becomes like, okay, what's the next big thing? What's the next big thing we can market? And you're not really worried too much about stories anymore, as much as just creating this fucking thing that can hopefully sell.
And that's why the fucking Demons merch is coming out before he even shows up, because
So
they're just like,
oh my God.
So dumb.
they're like, all right, well, we got it ready. You go ahead and fucking put it down on the put it down on the frying
Yeah.
pan. Let's see if it gets hot. Basically, it's like, dude, like you're
Yeah.
fucking up your own shit.
Look
Spoiler
at what
alert! Like,
Look what AEW did, man. They released CM Punk's merch after he came out and broke the internet.
dude, exactly.
Broke the internet.
Like, and they could have been like, well, everyone knows she's gonna be here, so let's just go ahead and release it now. No,
Well, wait a minute, hang on. So you remember I showed you the shirt, right?
yeah,
What time would you say that was?
I have no idea.
Because remember, the show comes on at 6 o'clock, really. Our
Right.
time, 8 o'clock Eastern. So that show probably was already over because we didn't start the show until after 8 o'clock. So maybe that's. I don't know. Did they have. When did they release that shirt?
They released that shirt probably an half hour after he was done with his promo.
After Roman was done with the promo?
Oh, you mean Finn's shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw Finn's shirt like that afternoon.
Oh, it came out yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, like let me go back to the email.
Yeah, dude.
So that's them going, hey guys, watch our shit tonight because the Demon King's back.
Right.
It must have been
Boo.
Exactly.
That's bullshit.
So that they're just
Terrible.
all about market. That's probably the only reason they brought him back, because they're like, okay, well, all of his demon shit sold really well, so let's just start doing that again.
And there's no more Bray, so they need like that,
Yeah.
alter
big
ego.
character.
Yeah.
See, and that's the way to do a character, my opinion, right?
The Demon King is great.
Dude,
That is
yes.
a great transformation of a character between like one's. It's almost like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
How you got Bruce Banner and then you make him mad and now he's fucking the big green Incredible Hulk.
And but he's not in there necessarily like, he's not in there snarling and acting all like an actual demon.
No.
Exactly.
No, he's just
Right.
he's just a more like
Right. You
crazy
just have,
version
you
of
just have
himself.
paint on and you look extravagant. You know what I mean? Because no different than the Ultimate Warrior. Like, he was just hopped up on fucking cocaine and just shook the ropes like a motherfucker.
cocaine.
You know what I mean? But like
No comment.
I'm just saying though, you know what I mean? But he wasn't out there going like, "Ah, la, 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 la." You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I was 30 as fuck before I realized that he was playing a fucking Native American Indian.
I know, how stupid are we?
Wait,
Oh
hold
my
on. What?
God.
Yeah,
Who
wait,
was?
the Ultimate, Warrior.
He's
He's
playing a Native American.
yeah, that's what he.
Are you just finding this out today too?
He's 30 as fuck too.
Or is it Warrior you're talking about?
Yeah, dude, Ultimate Warrior.
But you think about it, he's got the arm tassels, the leg tassels, the fucking face paint.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah, I'm thinking of Mortal Kombat Nightwolf. Oh my God.
See, AJ didn't even realize like how fucking dude we're.
and he talked all weird because that's what he thought Indians sounded like, I guess.
What an idiot.
And he was such a racist.
Oh my God.
That
That's
just makes it so much worse. That's why it's like, do I like the Ultimate Warrior even?
But to be
I'm
fair,
a huge Warrior fan. Like, I wanted to get the oh my.
back in those days, they did that a lot. Like
Yeah.
Chief is it Chief J? No. God damn it, dude! Why can't I? Wahoo McDaniel.
Okay.
McDaniel. That motherfucker wasn't Indian. He was Italian. And he played an Indian because he just had dark skin. Because some Italians have just fucking dark ass skin.
That olive skin, yeah.
So they made him out to be an Indian, like super racist.
Because I know I worked with a lady years back, and she's Native American. And I heard her talking to my boss, and she's like, I hope no one dresses up for Halloween this year. Blah, blah, blah. It's super offensive, like, for us to dress up in, like, their actual ceremonial, like, outfits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, fuck.
Well, it's just it's just interesting. It's a glimpse into like the real world and how people really feel. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like we're finding out that like, oh, this does not set well with a lot of people. You know what I mean?
They're like, don't
So-
wear headdresses, don't wear it. So, and I can
Cultural
totally understand.
appropriation.
Yeah. So it's like, it's interesting to see the turn. So, and that's why I think
glad everybody has
that
a voice.
WWE is missing the mark as far as characters go, because you can't really do it the way you used to, where it's like so fucking over the top.
That's why wrestling should never be PC and or publicly traded. Just saying.
Well, yeah.
AEW,
But
please just stay what you're doing and where you're at. Don't ever change.
And as Mike said before, the best character that they probably could get right now would be Luchasaurus.
Oh, Vince would lose his shit over Luchasaurus. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
I'm
Him
not
and
gonna-
Barney would be like a tag team at WrestleMania, dude.
Oh my god.
That would
Dude,
be
I'm
a
not
fucking
gonna lie,
real
he
thing.
he would probably make millions upon millions of dollars if he went to the WWE.
Well, he was in the Performance Center for a while, and then they ended up cutting him loose. But I think he kept getting hurt, man.
Well, if he builds up a little bit more steam and momentum with Jungle Boy, WWE might just snatch both of those motherfuckers up.
No
Dude,
way.
WWE would love
Yeah.
that fucking gimmick, dude.
I don't
Yes,
see,
they would.
dude, that'll be an interesting, like, years down the road, say, for instance, like an AEW guy hops to WWE.
Oh,
Because
who's that gonna be?
right, because like
I
that.
think it's gonna be Jungle Boy and
No
Luchasaurus.
way. Do you think that I wouldn't want to leave dude? If I'm in AEW, I'm like I'm home. I'm staying here.
They would have to offer you a fuck ton of fuck you money. Like,
Yeah, but dude, even like Adam Cole, like they were gonna offer him money, but they're like, oh, but restriction. Also, change your name. So it's like,
true.
you know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah,
dude,
it's
you're
like
giving
how-
up so much of your freedom to go be
Yeah.
with a company that's just gonna like kill you, dude.
I think only one wrestler actually was able to keep who they were and get that WWE money coming in, and that's AJ Styles. AJ Styles is probably the only wrestler that hasn't been character pushed, so to speak, and has been able to still be him, coming in from the independent scene, never touching, WWE previously, in the sense of saying he wasn't like a big star there and came back or something like that. When he came in to WWE as AJ Styles, he was AJ Styles that we knew. You know what I mean? There was no difference. Same thing with Adam Cole when he came to NXT. It was Adam Cole we knew. And if he would have took that character to WWE, I don't know how that character would have fit in. I mean, WWE is so heavily driven on the big man.
Well, that's Vince. That's Vince, dude. Like, Vince wants to present monsters and, the big giant heavyweights and the land of the giants, and that's always what it's been.
Right.
But over the last 10, 15, even 20 years, it's kind of gone way away from that. You know what I mean? Like, there's literally a handful of big guys on that roster now. Meanwhile, everybody else is like, average Joe.
And that's why they get stacked, pinned, and smashed
Right.
every time they try to step to the man.
Right, and if they were to bring back, like, to me, honestly, I want fucking divisions back, like weight divisions.
Yeah,
I
that'd be cool.
want them to bring back like legit, like if you're a world heavyweight champion, you need to be like 220 plus, 225 plus. You can't be under
Yeah.
225. You know what I mean? And then you
go for the world title.
well, and then you have the exceptions. Of course, there's always the ones that the anomalies like Ray and those guys. But for the most part, like, you need to have like a heavyweight division, and then have your intercontinental division as like your light heavyweight division. You know what I mean? Then if you want to keep your cruiserweight, that's fucking great too. But there needs to be some more separation. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just me.
No, I get it. There definitely is a lacking in the WWE for that pizzazz that they once had. If you want to go back to that 80s, 90s style, great. But give me some meat on that bone right now, because the characters that are out there are not people that can play those type of characters, in my opinion.
Right. They need to start hiring like legit actors.
Yeah, go back and get Kurgan.
Go get Stephen Amell, dude.
Get Steve Amell, right?
Someone like that. You know what I'm saying? Someone that's a
Right.
fan, that's an actor.
James
get them
Harris.
in there.
Harrison, I mean.
Yeah, dude. Like, if you want to portray, if you want to have the people come in there and actually play a character, they need to have some chops, man, and be able to remember lines, and that's
Portray emotion.
That's what they're going to.
If they could do that, if they could figure out a way to master that, then I think it would be good. Like, I think they would be able to sustain whatever the fuck they wanted to,
Well, a part of the change of the NXT is that they're not going to be like pulling from indies anymore, so they're going to have to make their own.
Which to me is a bad idea, man.
Yeah,
because everything's going to look the same. Everything,
everything.
punches, kicks, the way that they fall down, everything's going to look the same from everybody, and it's going to be super like. It's just going to feel very rehearsed, man. Like, it's all going to feel like a dance.
Well, what's a television show about wrestling? Stuff that's rehearsed. Heels, like I said before, I think it was episode 4 or maybe even episode 5. Heels, great show.
Is it still good? Are you still interested in it?
I haven't saw the last episode yet. I've been very busy, but yes, the Dusty Finish one, CM Punk was on there. That was good. It was a great episode, and it really. The thing I love about the show, and sorry to just go off track, but it's comparable to what's going on in WWE as of what they're looking for. The thing about the show is that the characters draw you in because you know their real life and their character life. Even though it's still a character in general, you know what I mean? They're dual rolling it. They're playing the character in the ring, and they're playing the character of who they really are outside the ring. And it draws you in because you see that, the bad guy is not really the bad guy, the good guy is not really the good guy, and now that the bad guy is the now that the good guy is the bad guy, you kind of say he fits into that role, but he doesn't like the role. It's kind of like that, and that's why you're drawn into that dramatic acting that presents and portrayals, and then there's a little bit of wrestling. WWE doesn't realize that they have always been wrestling with a little bit of acting, and they are so wanting to showcase the little bit of acting more than wrestling now, and that's been the problem with their downfall. That's why they're hiring sitcom writers and people who've never seen the product, because they're looking for people to come with those quote unquote fresh ideas that haven't been so passionate about what wrestling really is. Like someone like me and Mike, or even all of us going in there to write for them, we're going to be passionate about the product because we understand, we've watched, we know. They bring in Seinfeld writers, they're going to be like, hey, let's make somebody do X and Y if that's what you're looking for, a comedy skit.
Well, here's the thing, dude. So some of the stories that they have are really good, but they got the wrong people involved in the stories. It's almost like a bad coach. You have all the fucking talent in the world on your team, but you don't know where to place the talent on your team to succeed. It's like this guy right here. He's gonna play wide receiver.
Right, you got Tom Brady
but really he should be a tight end or a fullback. You know what I mean? Or like this guy's going to play defensive end. Really, he should be a linebacker. Same shit, you know what I mean? But you're putting them in the wrong spots where they can't like give you their full potential, basically.
Well, and I think too, to go back to like all the marketing and all that kind of stuff too, I think that WWE, like, they do good in some areas and then they do really bad in others. Like, okay, so for Adam Cole, how they're like, okay, you need to get rid of your Twitch account. You can't have this. You can't have that. Yet they're going to have Logan Paul on their fucking show. So it's like, do you want your people to have an online presence or fucking don't you? Because if you want to quote unquote connect to the kids, that's this days and age kids. It's Instagram, it's fucking Reddit, it's fucking YouTube, it's Twitter or Twitch. It's
but
like
it's got to be WWE controlled.
Right, exactly. I was going to say, if you have a personal Twitch, that was like Thea Trinidad, Zelina Vega. Yeah. They were like, you can't have your Twitch. But if you want to have a Twitch that says Zelina Vega and we run it, then that's fine.
Right, you can do that.
But you can't have your own.
See, and I don't agree with that. Because,
I don't either. How are you going to tell them they can't make money, dude?
Do we live in the quote-unquote Big Brother day and age where literally everyone's life and everything you're doing is all posted online? And that's why, in my opinion, partially why the Baron Corbin shit was getting over so fucking hard, because he's on his own personal fucking Instagram posting how he's like, oh, Look, this is a memory from when I used to be able to buy steak and blah, blah, blah. And then someone left a comment like, thought you were broke. He's like, can't you read? I said a memory. This used to be. Hello, blah, blah, blah. And then he's winning big in Vegas and he's posting all his fucking shit. So he's posting him winning big in Vegas before it's even ever on the show. So if you want to give me a preview to your show, that's the fucking way to do it.
Well, and WWE is 100% behind all of what you just said.
Yeah, exactly.
You just can't be doing it on your own accord with your own name.
Right.
So like Baron Corbin, I think his name is like Tom fucking whatever. So if Tom football guy was to have his own Twitch, they'd be like, no, you can't do that. Nope.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Even if he's trying to push forward the narrative of his story, they're like, no, dude, but you're not in your character. Like, you need to be in character if you're going to do that shit. So it's like, so he can't have a real life then? I mean, like, what the fuck?
His last name is P-Stock, which is hilarious.
P-Stock?
Yeah, P-Stock.
Tom P-Stock.
I would absolutely be changing my name legally the moment I was allowed to.
I'd be like, Vince, can I really keep Baron Corbin?
I know. Right?
Yeah, I just want to... well, that's... A lot of people have changed their names legally to... Like Ryback. He legally changed his name to fucking Ryback.
Yeah.
That's great.
So he could own the fucking rights to it. Because he came up with the character. And WWE, they wanted to own it. But anyway.
Well, so...
Yeah, Warrior.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can still have your own, like, shit outside, because then I think, personally, like, everyone likes to get to know the real you, not the character version of you. And you don't see Nikki ASH, like, going and fighting crime in the streets on her fucking Instagram.
Could you imagine?
Just doesn't fucking happen.
I'm glad that's not... I'm glad, because do you know how many fucking kids would probably start doing that shit, too?
Oh, just become a bunch of vigilantes out there running around.
And that's why they don't do things like that, because
it's good in the comics, not in real life.
But you
Yeah,
could but like, back when Bailey was like everyone gets a hug, like she would be able to get on her social media and be like, I'm just friendly and super blah blah blah. Like, that just makes sense. Oh, look, I was at a store today and gave someone a hug, whatever. You know what I mean? That's a good way to tie in, but they just, like I said, they're all over the place. They're all over the place, man.
Hey, and they're only pushing Raw in that direction. If you look at it, they're not really pushing SmackDown in that direction. SmackDown is because SmackDown's on Fox and WWE, and Fox is like, nope.
Well, Fox has they have like a say on the direction they want their show to go in. Like, hey, we want this show to be more gritty, because like apparently Fox has already told them, like, we want new titles, like we want titles that look like you would want to fight for it, not just a toy prop. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and they've resisted.
Title.
They've resisted.
That Intercontinental Championship's got to go, bro.
Oh my God, yes.
I don't know what that is.
I don't mind the United States title. It looks a little bit better. It's just that IC title. It's got to go.
Looks like shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's ugly.
that shit.
For
Oh,
us belt marks, yeah. I'm personally not a fan of the U.S. title either, but that's just
Well,
me.
I mean, it
See, I
looks
like
a
the
lot
US
better
title.
than the IC title, in my
Oh
opinion.
yeah, if I had to choose, I'm
And
definitely choosing
it-
the U.S. belt.
I
over
just
that.
like how it looks
Okay.
more like a shield, kind of too.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I like it a lot better. That's for sure.
Yeah.
The Intercontinental title looks like somebody just said circles. I want to make circles, and then put the big eye from Lord of the Rings right in the fucking center of that shit. That's what it looks
Is
like.
that the
It's
name
like,
of the
I
belt?
see
The
you.
Eye of Sauron?
Isn't it just
Yeah.
the logo, the the
No.
It's got like a
no.
little world in there with the WWE logo.
It's
Yeah.
that big circle, and it's got like the triangle of the ring or something in or
The
the
square.
square.
With the WWE.
And it's just, yeah, it just looks
Mhm.
like the eye, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, why are you
Creepy.
watching me? It's ridiculous.
Let's go ahead and get into the fantasy league, huh? Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my goodness, man, I had a horrible week. I know you guys had a horrible week, but damn, I lost to the Usos, man. Come on, 5 points.
All right. Well, to just to go back a little bit. So we did miss a week. You know, it was a holiday week, and
Yeah.
so we did skip the week for the fantasy league.
So we're starting September 5th.
Yeah. So starting September 5th, Sunday, September 5th to present day, which is Saturday. We went ahead and collected the points, and holy shit, there is a fucking gap. So.
A large.
So just to recap here. So just to recap, I'll go through the teams again. So we got Mr. B with Charlotte Flair, Malachi Black, Lucha Bros, Miro, and Andrade, and then of course his reserve, Mr. MJF. My team, we got Drew McIntyre, Young Bucks, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Finn Balor / Demon King, and reserve is Sheamus. Cam's team, we got Britt Baker, Bobby Lashley, Becky Lynch, Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, and his reserve Seth Rollins. Kimmy, Darby Allin, Roman Reigns, Rhea Ripley, Mansoor and Ali, the Mysterios, and the reserve Orange Cassidy. And then AJ, we got RK Bro, Usos, Jurassic Express, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Jon Moxley. How do you guys like that? Oh, by the way, the reserve,
Yeah.
Cameron Grimes.
Yeah. Well, it's Cameron Grimes.
Cameron Grimes. All right, so now that we've recapped that, let's go ahead and go over the points for the week. So,
Nuts.
obviously, Wednesday night had, it looks like, the most points. And that's one thing that I'm probably going to follow. What show probably produced the most points. So we'll add as we go here.
Gotcha.
But coming in first place, we got Mr. B with 43 points. In second place, Cam with 33 points. In third place, AJ with 23 points. And tied for fourth and fifth place, it is myself and Kimmy with an astounding 18 fucking points.
Ooh.
And that is for the whole week. So from All Out until Rampage, those are the scores.
Ooh, buddy, let me tell you, I can't wait for our pay-per-views because, yikes. Like, I feel like we just got smacked in the face by Mr. B. And also, Charlotte got him a shit ton of points. So his one WWE person just, like, stacked.
Yeah, that is true. In fact, I can go back and look at the... Well, I thought so, since I wrote it down, but I didn't put it back. So, Miss Charlotte Flair
I'm like, I should get up on the board and write this shit down real quick.
Charlotte had 11 points. Are you going to write it down?
Yeah.
We got... So I'm just going to go in order of just who was on Monday Night Raw. So Drew McIntyre, a fucking fat 0. Alexa Bliss, 11.
You too.
Yeah. Bobby Lashley had 10. Rhea Ripley had 4. Mansoor and Ali had 1. And RK Bro had 2. All right. And then Wednesday night, we had Andrade with -2. And we can change these as we go. Britt Baker had 3. Darby had 2. Excuse me, -2. Yeah. Moxley had 4. And this is just the way that they appeared on the show. Jurassic Express had 2. Kenny Omega had 2. Lucha Bros got 1. You know what's fucked up is I didn't save the points for the All Out.
Oh, wow. That's where all the points really came from.
I mean, I have them written down on here. Like, all the points are accurate. We erased them off the board.
Oh.
Malachi had 7. Miro had 1. Young Bucks had 2. That's it for Wednesday. That's me. All right. Roman Reigns had 6. Usos had 1. Nakamura had 8. Mysterio's had 8. Bianca got 2. Finn Balor got 2. And Becky Lynch got 2. And then Andrade got 7. So he'll have 5, right? Because he had the -2. So just put 5 on there. All right. Lucha Bros had 2. Darby Allin had 2. And then Moxley had 2. And that was Monday through Friday. So I don't have the all-out points. I don't have the all-out points. Fuck, I should have wrote them down. Because that would add to the weekly totals, you know what I mean?
We can always just look it up, yeah? Who won what?
Yeah, but there was backstage segments that
Yeah,
won't
we
get
have it all
accounted
written.
for, and yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I can well, no, I can't rewatch it because it's off, not
No,
Not
you're
on
good,
YouTube.
man. It's just,
okay.
we should keep track of our backups in future.
Oh yeah, I just figured we wouldn't worry about them. So that's just the normal week right there.
I was gonna say I say that just for the week, yeah, and not including pay-per-view. So I mean that's fine, right?
I mean, yeah, I mean,
that kind of gives you an idea of who's getting the most screen time. Because, dude, okay, first of all, Charlotte, Alexa, Bobby, dude, they have the highest.
Shinsuke had 8.
Yeah, the 8s are pretty. Yeah, so 8. That's crazy.
Cam had a terrible strategy by taking Hangman on his starting roster.
I agree.
He should have put Seth Rollins in there and then drafted him. Well, like Kimmy said, we didn't know we were going to do a reserve until like last minute. So
does he have legit out, or should he be getting negative points here?
no, he's out because they're having a baby.
Yeah,
His
he's-
wife's having a baby, so he's kind of on like paternity
Yeah,
leave.
it's a known reason why he's
Yeah.
gone.
So, if he was just gone and we had no idea, he's getting -2 every fucking show.
Yeah, like
So
how
wait,
Alexa did.
why can't he move his reserve up then? He should be able to move Seth up.
No.
That was part of the rule. Once, if your
If
guy
they
is
go
out,
inactive,
Yeah.
yeah. So he should be getting Seth points right now.
well, fuck.
Yeah, you got to.
Should we do that? Should we just do that for him? We'll just switch him out.
Well, no, it was the rule we created. We said if your guy is out, then you move your reserve up.
Okay, well then,
And
if
guess
that's
what?
the case,
He gets to pick another free. Wow.
no, he doesn't.
No,
Nope, nope, he
I
just
think his
swaps them.
hangman goes into his reserves.
Yeah, his hangman goes into his reserves, and then it just moves.
That's
Seth
interesting though, because he knowingly drafted a guy that's out though.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't really feel like we should give him that fucking.
So wait, did he know he was?
Courtesy.
Did we know
Yes.
he was out officially before
Yeah,
Yes.
he drafted him?
he
Yeah.
knew he was out, and he
So
still
that was
drafted
an
him.
invalid draft. We should have never let him pick that. Technically, by default, Seth has to be moved up.
I mean, we can. I'm cool with it if we do it.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
just
we
gonna.
gotta follow because it would be that rule would apply to any of us. It sucks that we even let that happen, but Seth.
Well,
Because
that's
Seth-
a good segue into what we were talking about yesterday too.
Oh, what was that?
About like once a month you can swap out your reserve.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. What do you think
Yeah,
about that? Like
Yeah,
just
see,
keep
AJ's
it,
like me.
just
I'm
keep
like,
it every 3 months, and we'll shake it up
the
every
Big Four.
3.
The next shakeup is Survivor Series. The night after Survivor Series is over, you have from Survivor Series night to Monday Night Raw, like an hour before Raw, to get your team put together. That way you can drop people, you can trade people. Everybody gets 2.
I would say
discussed.
let's do it on the show. We'll
So
do it
right
on
after it's over.
We'll do it on the show. Yeah, because after the Survivor Series or whatever, then cool, and then that Saturday when we pod, we'll do it then.
Okay, so we'll keep our team, our final points lap the week of Survivor Series. So Survivor Series we'll do Raw, everything,
Yeah.
all the way to Dynamite, and then that night, or that Saturday night when we pod, or that Saturday morning I should say when we pod, we'll switch up our teams there and start the season. Start the next half of the season the week after Survivor Series.
Yeah.
So that's Sunday.
Yeah.
Can I throw out an idea here, just as I'm sitting here looking at the board?
Mm-hmm.
So as far as your backup, right? Why don't we make it like you can swap your backup with a main roster person, but if you do that, you can't swap them back for the remainder of the.
Oh yeah, once your roster's set.
You know what I
agree,
mean?
Kimmy. Yeah,
So
you're set.
I think everybody should have the opportunity, if you want, to pull your backup and to like take someone from your main roster and put your backup in, but you can only do it one time throughout the duration of our quote unquote quarter.
I mean, I'm cool with that.
Because otherwise, why are they there? So instead of being like, oh, injury only, like, hey, if you decide audible, okay, I want to fucking put in Orange Cassidy now for Darby because fuck Darby, he's got me no points. But now I have to leave him there. So now if all of a sudden Darby starts blowing up, well, fucking bad on me because I put him on my bench.
Well, I just want you guys to know Mike's been chomping at the bit to get this opportunity, so.
He's like, oh, I want to put him.
Yeah. MJF is sitting right fucking there, yeah.
Well, I mean, because...
And then you got Orange Cassidy, which he's getting mad points
Dude,
right
and not
now.
only that, but Seth Rollins, he gets, so all of a sudden now Cam gets Seth Rollins, even though, yeah, we all allowed him to knowingly take a person that's not in right now, so he's knowingly putting someone on the bench and not getting points for him.
I think that we should be bros and switch that out for him.
And also, I agree with Kimmy with the whole thing, and we should do that only on Sunday, only on the show. So you can only do your switch out
Yeah, I like
during
that.
this right now. So
Yeah.
if I wanted to put Cameron Grimes in over someone, I would have to say, hey, tonight I'm putting in Cameron Grimes as my
Yeah.
guy going forward or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I do believe we need to go back and give Cam those points for Seth. It's
Damn,
just
so
the
we gotta
right
go
thing
back
to
and
do.
watch SmackDown.
So Seth only did I don't think he had a did he have a little backstage before the match?
He did. He had an interview, yeah.
So he had one of those, and then the match, right, which he won. So that's 7, right? Yes, 7
Yeah,
points.
7,
So that's
so that's
8.
9.
And then
That's
he had another backstage when he was
That's
sending
9.
Edge. So that's 9 fucking points. 9 points added to his score, so he's got 42 points.
Yeah.
Woo!
Well,
There
I
you
mean,
go.
Let's write that
but
down.
like we said, he actively drafted a guy that he knew was going to be out,
Yeah, but
and he's
So
not
it goes
getting
to-
negative points for it because it's confirmed.
I like the competitive aspects here now.
Yeah, no,
we're
I'm
all
just
we're all
saying.
like hashing it out like.
Well, I'm just saying.
Well, and
we're
I-
changing shit in the middle of the in the middle of the fantasy already.
Well, technically, it's the very first week. So,
but
so
no,
you know
yes,
what I mean.
but that shouldn't affect these points because he's just being
yeah.
added.
Yeah.
He's just
So
being
going
added.
forward-
So
I
his
agree.
points don't count till next week.
Because remember how we said if you have to make a
you
change or
change.
whatever, you don't get points for that week.
Remember?
You don't get points for that week if you
Yeah, I
have to
just
take
said
your
that.
person out. Remember, because we were talking about that. Because
Well,
we're
that
like,
wouldn't make sense though. Because if they're out, you take them out and put the other one in, then you should get the points that.
yeah, but
well,
if,
not for this week because this week's already over.
But why? But what I'm saying
Because
is, why
he did-
couldn't
we
we
didn't-
just flip it as if he was
Because we
already
knew.
there the whole time?
Well, because we
just
already
to be-
we already all agreed on that it wouldn't count till the following week if we had to put him in.
yeah, we did agree on that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I get what you're saying.
I've been outruled.
Mr.
That's
B.
fine. That's cool.
I'm
Well,
I
it's
like
not
it.
a- no, I mean,
No, no, and
that's what we
It's not because
discussed,
AJ's still over there too. You know what I mean? And I'm not necessarily swayed.
No,
one
No,
way or the
because
other.
I legit don't remember the conversation, but I'm not saying it didn't happen by any means.
Just a second ago,
Everybody
I had
agrees,
said-
so I'm not, I'm what do you call it? I'm receding, but I like it. I like it. So that if you put them in, they get no points for that week, and then the following week.
Because you're adding them. You're adding them after the fact.
Okay.
Because we're doing it, we're changing.
That's fair.
We can only change it on the show, correct? That's what everybody's saying, right?
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Okay, wait, no, hold on.
okay,
Let
sorry.
AJ. Let
Okay.
AJ.
Go ahead,
his-
AJ.
yes.
My bad.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, I feel bad for not being able to. I feel you, Mike,
But-
because I kind of feel bad that we knew.
Well, he
But
definitely
I-
knew. He drafted them.
But I get what you're saying, Mr. B. If we just put that rule into effect as of today, let's abide by the rule as of today.
I like this better, actually. This is a lot more interactive for us. So if we're making this change for him, then does this
Well, I mean, we
does
could.
this mean that he can't then utilize that change? Because
No,
let's
he
say
can.
Hangman comes back in a month, he should be able to, since we're making the executive decision to put Seth in for him, if Hangman comes back, he should be allowed then to
If-
make that move.
Okay, so
Well,
if
and
in
then not
theory
going-
we're going to go ahead and agree on that, then if we can all once per quarter swap out our alternate for a main roster person, regardless of injury.
So every
So right
every
after the pay-per-view,
Big Four,
right?
Yeah.
every
Right,
Big
right.
Four, right? We could switch
Right.
our reserve.
Right.
Okay.
Can't we also? We can also drop an ad at that point.
Well,
Yeah. 'cause
I'm
moves
not
you
saying
get. You
I'm
get
not
two
saying
moves.
Two
that.
moves.
I'm not saying okay, only at the pay-per-view can you swap your reserve for someone, cuz from what my
No, I see
understanding
what you're
was
saying.
from
I
what
see
my
what you're
understanding was on the Big Four every quarter we're going to have basically it's going to be like every other. So like on Big Four number 1, right? The first one that we're going to come up on, we're going to do like a quote unquote little shake up and you can replace like 2 people or whatever.
2 moves.
Correct.
So
Right.
if you want to take 2 of your starters and take them out and get 2 free agents and put them in, that's 2 moves. If you want to move one of your reserves up and then get a free agent, that's 2 moves. You see
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
we're doing that. What I'm saying is within this 3-month time frame that we're not making any moves, you should at one time, whether it's right at the beginning or maybe there's a week left in the fucking thing,
yeah.
In the month.
take your reserve and put him on the main roster.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, Kimmy,
And
we,
swap
we
them.
actually said you can do that every week on the show. You can switch out your
No, not
no,
every
not
week.
every week.
Not every week. Once you
well,
change
that's how
them,
you do in fantasy. That's how
no.
you do in
Once you
fantasy.
change them, you can't change them back. That's what Kimmy was saying earlier.
Well, because what we had agreed on previously,
mm.
guys, is we don't even use our reserves
Right.
unless there's an injury, and that's why we're like, oh, well, Hangman's out. Do we move Seth Rollins up? That's the
right,
argument,
exactly.
right?
Yes.
Even though we all know that
Yes,
Cam
Cam-
knowingly
yes.
drafted him knowing he's going to get zeros every fucking week. We're not giving him -2 because we know why he's gone, right?
Right.
Right, okay. So we're giving him that courtesy already, even though he's gone.
Yeah. We made that rule for
So
him specifically.
Cam was already okay with getting zeros there. So we're kind of being like, oh, okay, well, we can switch Seth Rollins. So then to your defense, you're like, oh, well, then he should be able to switch it back if he wants to.
But then he can't change
Should
it again
he?
until well,
He can either take the zeros. So it might be, we will leave it up to Cam. We'll be like, hey, once per 3 quarters, you can at one time switch your people, but once you switch it, you can't switch it back.
yeah, I do like that.
And then, because it was just for injury previously, but this gives you an opportunity to one time within this 3-month dry spell where we're not making any changes to put in your alternate for someone else. So then Cam can then make the decision, okay, well, do I want to use my one move this 3 months to move Seth up into this Hangman spot and just leave Hangman on the bench until the shake-up? At the next big, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And Kimmy, you know what's crazy? I hate your rule, but I kind of like, it's like, I can't say no.
It just it makes you have to commit though. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Like you have to
yes,
commit
that-
to it and ride it out. You know what I
have
mean?
commitment issues already.
Dude, because guys, otherwise, if we don't do that, we don't use our alternate at all unless someone happens to get injured.
Yeah, and for like you and Mike, Orange Cassidy's dude, he probably gets 10 points a week just based on fucking appearances.
Right.
And then MJF, he's not gonna get a ton of points every week, but you're gonna get those promos and backstages. That's a constant
When
2-3
like
points
we
every
talked about,
time.
he doesn't lose either. Generally,
He's only got 1 loss.
right?
So, I mean, I like that. I like the 1 move per 3 months.
Yeah, and then
basically.
but that's why I mean you can't just flip flop it back and forth.
Or no,
'cause-
wait. We said every quarter. We get
one
two
every
moves?
3 months.
Okay.
Well, during
yeah.
she means during from beginning of shakeup to next shakeup.
Right.
During
Right.
that period,
You get one
You'll
move.
have one move,
Right.
but you
Yeah.
have to do it here on the show, and it doesn't go into effect the next week. So,
Right.
is that pretty much the literature?
So I think once
Yes,
you
I
say,
think
"Hey, I'm
that's what
making
I'm
this change,"
understanding.
they become in effect at that time. Like, okay,
Yeah.
from this moment moving forward, now it's in effect. I don't get last week, but I get this
So
week.
Yeah,
so,
going
so
forward, because
as-
you collected
so
the points from the
Cam-
last person already.
Using Cam as the example,
Right.
going forward, Seth Rollins is Cam's points now.
Correct.
But Cam cannot put Hangman back in until either the shakeup
Yep.
or until after the shakeup.
Yes.
Technically.
Because then he'll have then it'll be the next 3 months, and then you'll have one opportunity to make a move.
Ooh, a rule is so horrible. I love it.
Yeah, but
It just makes you have to really make the
commit,
decision.
yeah.
well, and
like,
during the
do it.
shakeup, you could then go, okay, well now I want to put Hangman back on my main roster, and now I want to get rid of Becky Lynch and take whoever. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Right.
And that's
I
your two
want-
moves.
I want AJ Styles. And then we still got the tag team rule too, right? Like so my whole
Right.
thing is if Rated RKO break up, man, if Randy wins this title, what happens?
Randy's back full time, dude. Like he
I
said that his
know.
passion and his fire for wrestling has been reignited. So I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon.
He's
So
been
he
good.
might-
to
Riddle's
he
on
made
the rise
record.
too, man.
Yeah.
Riddle is on the rise, man.
Yeah, that's
Damn,
hard.
Imagine me dropping one of those guys and putting him on the free agency. Wow.
So we decided that based on waiver wire. So when the shakeup happens, like for the free agent moves, person with the least points to the most points, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll start from least to most as far as like the order that you can take people. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Correct.
So like if I have the lowest amount of points through the 3 months, I go first, and
Totally.
I pick my pick.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Okay, well I'm
Right.
projected. Me and Kimmy are projected right now to get number one pick.
Yes, 1 and 1.
One-
We
Yeah,
collectively choose.
what happens if you guys tie?
We have to fucking
flip
rock
a-
paper scissors or some shit.
Yeah,
I
pull a
guess.
name again out of a hat or something.
Yeah,
Ooh,
because
you
we're
know
not.
what? Well,
Maybe that
we
would be
could
the
do-
reserve would be the tiebreaker going forward.
What?
If
Oh,
we
the
just
points of
tallied the
reserve.
points of the reserves but don't count them, so then like if we did tie, then whoever has the higher reserve points
That's a good idea.
then would get.
Well,
you
see,
know.
that's why I was curious to be like, we should notate the reserve points, because then I'm like, damn, this motherfucker's blown up every week. All right, that's it. I'm gonna
we wouldn't
switch.
have enough room for Orange Cassidy right there.
What? For his points?
Yeah, there
You-
wouldn't be enough room for the bars. We
Oh,
would
you're
have to
just
write
making me
under
feel
it.
bad about my choices now. But here's the thing: do I take out Darby Allin or do I take out fucking Mansoor and Ali? You know what I mean?
I think
Mansoor
Darby
and Ali,
Allin.
definitely.
Darby Allin had a bad week, but I would not take Darby out because
Hell
Darby's on TV every week. He's usually winning. He just had a bad week because he had Punk at the pay-per-view, and then he didn't make Dynamite, but then he showed up on.
See, I think that's why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, because I'm like, motherfucker, you're supposed to get me all these points and you have nothing.
We started in an awkward time. Like Mike's starting out the gate, but I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Like come Extreme Rules.
See,
Yeah.
see, here's my
Dude,
question.
I had a tag team title match. I'm sorry to cut you off, Mr. B, but I had a tag team title match on Monday Night Raw with Bobby Lashley and MVP versus RK Bros that they won. So I was like, yes, for last week's points. That's why I was like, yeah, we're going to count last week's points. And then my
Well, it
And
was
then
AJ's job to
AJ.
keep track of points. So I mean, that's
And then-
that's your own
and
bad.
then-
All week he's telling me he's got it. He's got it. He's got it. I got all this time. I'm just sitting in a hotel. I got all this time. I can just watch it. I should have just did it.
You should have.
It's okay though.
That's all
We
right.
took a week off, guys. It's fine.
It's fine. A vacation, you know what I mean?
We're still collecting our. I'm still sunburnt. Like it's all fucked up. You know. Tried to chop my leg off. No big deal.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. When you walked over to me and you're this is what I don't like about you when you hurt yourself, is that you're so fucking casual about it. You're too casual. You just walk over and you're like, yeah, and I look down at your leg. It's just like a big axe chop. I'm like, bro, the fuck did you do, man? I told
Like, I
you
need
to
a
be
band-aid
careful,
and some
idiot.
butterflies or something.
Oh my god. Yeah, like you said, you're lucky that the little axe didn't. It wasn't like brand new.
Yeah, that thing would have fucking chopped me up if it was brand new axe or a big axe. It
Dude.
was just a little hatchet. You know, hey, what are you gonna do, man?
You were fucking yourself up a lot on that camping trip.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I'm a stupid. But yes, okay. So the fantasy. I'm happy with all the decisions that we've made.
Oh, I do have one more topic to propose. I don't know if this is what you're going to talk about. Go ahead. I'll let you go.
Well, no, what I was going to say is, okay, so technically as this fantasy works, we are the bookers, technically. Correct?
As far as elaborate, please.
Well, I mean, like in fantasy football, you're technically the coach of your team. So we're the bookers of fantasy.
So we're not we're not the general managers, we're the bookers.
Or managers, whatever you want to call it.
We have our own territories.
Yeah, whatever
It's
you
our
want to
faction.
call it.
We made
I mean,
our own
this is a
factions.
fantasy. We got wrestlers. We're placing the wrestlers in to get us points, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
technically we're the bookers.
I
So
like
why
it.
are we tying our hands?
What do you mean?
Because if you were limiting when we can change out our wrestlers from like our reserve, bookers, they can make any kind of changes to the roster.
Yes!
They do it just right before the show even starts, too. That's what I'm trying to get across here.
Yes.
So, and plus you got to
AJ's
figure,
doing it,
you got to
yes.
figure WWE has a pay-per-view every fucking month. So I guarantee after this week, and once you guys, because like AEW has only 4 a fucking year, because they mainly do everything on their actual shows, and we're basing the time of the shakeup during WWE pay-per-views too. So we kind of got two different.
Well, those
we
all
got two
line up
different-
with AEW too, because they're all because there's only like a big 4 for each one so far. Like each brand only has like a big 4, but yeah, WWE has one every month, like a small
Yeah,
one.
but
you
yeah.
know?
So what I'm saying is, there's you guys are gonna get a lot more, because we're using 2 different companies, not just brands. 2 different companies. in
Mr.
Well, hey
Bean.
man, that's the
what I'm saying.
downfalls of maybe drafting all of one
AEW.
roster.
No,
you
no,
know?
I'm
Yes,
not-
exactly. I was just saying that. I'm like, he's trying to fight his point right now because he's like AEW heavy.
No,
And he's like,
I'm
you
not-
guys actually, you're gonna get way more pay-per-views than me, and
Well, all I'm trying to say is we're using the
But you
same.
got 2 shows a week.
We're using the same rules for two different companies altogether that
2 different
work
entities. I
operate.
get it.
They operate totally differently, so you're gonna have ups and downs throughout the thing. So I'm just saying, why would we tie our hands by not allowing us to make changes that in fantasy football, fantasy baseball, fantasy every other fantasy?
This ain't fantasy baseball, football, hockey, basketball.
No, but what I'm saying is, as a booker,
so you
they're
want to
not
be able to
limiting
change.
them themselves to what they show on their product.
So you want to change weekly? Is that what you're asking for?
So like
Yeah.
every week you change if you want to change your,
Yeah,
but it can
I
only
mean,
be your reserve.
It can only be reserved, and it can only count the following week.
Yeah. Yes.
But
That's what I
every
was
week you're
proposing
allowed
as
to
well.
just flip-flop person
If
to
you
person.
want to. I mean, I don't see why that's a big deal. I mean, it's fantasy anyways.
I mean, I
Yes.
think the reason I proposed the way that I did was because at first we were hard, like, you can't use them at fucking all unless...
Well, yeah, because
You know
you
what I
can
mean? So-
kind of like because they kind of tell you like the following week, like, oh, Sheamus and Bobby Lashley WWE Championship next week, and I'm like, oh, well, of course I'm putting
Yes.
Sheamus in, or well, I probably wouldn't, because he's gonna lose,
Right,
so
he's
I'd
gonna
probably
lose,
take him
right.
out.
Well,
but
yeah, see,
but
still,
if you're
using
locked
strategy
in,
too. You
but
got to use strategy in this.
Exactly. Yeah. If somebody
Well-
has a hot week and somebody's doing bad and somebody's doing poor, I'm putting your ass on the bench, bro. Yes,
It's competitive, I mean-
ladies and gentlemen.
well, that makes it
Mr.
easy though and
fucking
convenient.
B
We don't
has
want it to be
entered the
easy
room,
and
baby.
convenient, do we? We
that?
want it to
Doesn't
be
really make it
challenging
easy.
and
It doesn't really make it easy or convenient because there's still a chance they can lose, or there's a possible
Exactly.
change to the card before it even happens.
I
You
mean,
know,
God forbid-
but once
I'm
you
not
make that
opposed to
change,
it.
you're locked in for that week.
for that
That's what I'm
week,
saying.
exactly. I like it.
I mean, maybe limited a little bit. I mean, you can't just like tie the booker's hands. I mean, they're
Well,
not doing that in real
we're
life.
not tying the hands. We're just within the rules that are given.
I'm sorry,
These
I'm
are
not
the
trying to
rules.
get loud, but I'm.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, get loud, Mr. B. I love it. I love
He's
it.
passionate, man. Yeah.
I'm
agree
just
with
saying. I'm just
competitive.
saying. If I know it's not like football or something, because the scoring is totally different. They do by metrics and everything in football and baseball and any other professional sport. But all I'm saying is, as a booker, you're not always going to have the same people. There's
Let's
going to
take
be
it to a vote,
changes.
guys.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it either way or the other because I mean either way
Because,
it's
I mean-
gonna be it'll work. It just makes it like Kimmy said. It's just you have to choose wisely and you have to commit to
Your team
the
for
team
week.
that
Yeah.
you picked for that quarter or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it should go by the week because it's just like we're still in the sports realm. Even though this is sports entertainment, we're still sports, and we got to treat it as wise. And I feel like,
Do we?
just like Mr. B said, that's why I said every week on this show,
It's a work,
if you
brother.
want to put somebody else in at Saturday at the end of the week, because the week ends Saturday pretty much, with the exception of a pay-per-view. And here's the deal: if there's like WWE has their pay-per-views on Saturday sometimes, well, that'll be the big four. So that really kind of excels from what I'm talking about here. But long story short, I agree. Once a week on the show, when we're on the show, you can change your pick, not your pick, your reserve. You can flip flop them out, because like you said, we'll pretty much know the roster of what's happening the week before. So if we know that our wrestler is about to fight the world champion and lose, I'm definitely putting you on the bench for that week because I know I'm going to get negative points.
See, I don't like
I don't like that
at all.
either. Yeah.
I love
I
it.
hate
I love
it.
it.
Yep.
I'm just
I
here.
love it.
Here's my prediction. So if you're voting for it, I'm voting against it. I think Kimmy's voting against it.
Yeah.
Mike's voting for it. I can already tell you right now, Cam is going to be like, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
He's here. I'll text him right now.
Yeah, text him right now. Let's see if
Text
we
him
can
in
get
the
him.
group.
Tell him we got an emergency vote that we need to go. And Mr. B, I'll let you propose it to him in the manner in which you proposed it. Because you got to remember, Cam is a sports fan just like we are. So I think he'll understand the concept. Now, will he go for it?
Well, I mean,
That's
it's
the
no
question.
different. It's really not that much different than, like, say, in fantasy football. Oh, I got this guy. Well, he's not doing great.
Right.
Do I really want to start him? So, like, I know
Then
AEW gets 2 shows a week and everything, but that doesn't mean they're always going to be on both shows. So I'm going to get dinged, and I'm okay with that. But all I'm saying is, it's just the same
It's
rules.
a way for him to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
sounds like some backpedaling.
Well, no, I'm just saying, if you
Well,
have
I
the
agree.
option to make changes, because you're the booker, and it's going to happen anyways in real life, why can't it just happen in the fantasy league?
Look,
Right.
I totally understand your concepts.
Because I mean,
Do I agree with
it's
them?
based off the actual product, just no different than NFL.
I just think I think that's just such a 360 a 180 from like where we started.
I kind of see, but I always thought that could be the rule of your reserve coming in. When we first said only injury, and I'm just like, oh, that blows, you know what I mean? But if I know Cameron Grimes is going to defend the $1 million title, and I think there's a chance that he's going to win that match, I want to get those points for that. Shit, I thought the Usos was going to clean the floor with the damn Street Profits. Nope. Roman decided that that's not the damn case, did he? And then Mike gets 2 points for the fucking demon coming out after I lost fucking 2 points. Fuck you, Usos.
I'm sorry you changed your mind and gave me Roman. You're back.
Yeah, see, I feel like it's to me.
Yeah, you got
to
points for
me,
that, Kimmy,
it
didn't
feels
you?
like a cop out to be able to knowingly put or take out somebody because you know their match or their situation for the following
I
week.
absolutely agree with that.
Why?
And here's
It's
why.
sports entertainment, baby.
Guys-
Sorry.
Because you made your picks and
You don't
and-
know the outcome of a football game. You don't know the outcome of a
Right.
baseball game. You do know the outcome of these matches,
Not-
and so it
not
doesn't seem fair.
necessarily.
Well,
yeah.
you know what's
I
coming
knew
the week
I knew
before.
the Usos was going to retain.
Like you don't
Yes.
think you think Darby Allin's beating CM Punk.
No.
Exactly. So
Okay.
You take him out,
Okay.
you
Right.
take him out,
Right.
then,
That's
Kimmy.
not fair because you
Right.
can't be like, oh, well, I'm gonna take the fucking
Right.
I'm gonna take Tom Brady out of my thing because I know that he's
No, you
whatever.
never take Tom Brady.
But
Playing
you
the
know what I'm
Rams or
saying.
whatever.
Whatever. But you know what I mean. Like you're not going to be like, oh well, I know for sure the Bucks are going to lose this week, so I'm taking so and so and so and so and this person out.
We're
I
not
know for
structuring
sure.
like fantasy football or
Yeah.
fantasy
But
sports.
that's
This
not-
is
but that's not
fantasy
the
pro
case.
wrestling.
Look at Zeke. Zeke,
But it's still a sport.
Zeke, that defense, I didn't think was going to be like that for the run game on Dallas.
Tried to
You know
tell
what I
you.
mean? But boy, was I mistaken. Zeke was projected to get me like 20-something points. How many points did he get me? 12. If I would have made a better prediction of what I felt Zeke was going to do and not gave him the benefit of the doubt of it being the first game, so he's going to run all over these people, I would have took him out and put somebody else in who I thought would have got me more points. But that's the way fantasy works. You either think you know what's going to happen, so you work with the team that you have, or you don't know. Being locked in every week with the same team over and over again, knowing the fact that, hey, this person is like on the meanest losing streak. Why is this person in my roster?
Sorry, your draft
every
pick sucked.
Okay, yes, but allow
Exactly.
me to say, hey, even though my draft picks might have sucked, my reserve might be a better option
Right.
to
And
help
then
me
you can
progress.
switch it out once per quarter.
See, but why is it only got to be once per quarter?
Well,
Why
because
can't it be week
because
to week?
because we can't go from doing it never to just unlimited now, like basically as much as you want. It kind of doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, there
And-
should be some regulations on when you can change your reserve. I agree. Like if you, like
There
in
is,
Cam's
once a
situation
week.
right now, like Hangman's out, we know he's out. He should be able to switch that person, but then he can't make any more moves now until, even if Hangman comes back in 2 weeks, it's like,
Yeah,
well,
you
fuck,
should be
I
able to
made
put
my
Hangman
move.
back in. Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
but
because
you
it's a
don't-
commitment. Now you've committed to this roster until the end of the quarter.
So what? He
and I
gets to
think
put
that-
Seth in and take Becky out, and then I can take Bobby out
Yeah,
and put so and so.
yep,
Like I just
yes, yes, you
I don't
should
like
be
that.
able to do
I don't.
that.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
You should be able to do that once a week, though. Not every day and shit. At Saturday on the show.
Okay,
you
okay,
should say,
breaking.
I'm switching.
Cam has replied. Ready? So
Yeah.
just to recap, Mr. B and AJ say yes. Me and Kimmy say no. Cam, he says, man, I say no. It's a reserve for a reason, not just a swap. Hang on, my phone. If you wanted to start them, you should have drafted them to start from the beginning.
so that means then
So he doesn't even want to like change the reserves at all.
so that means he's down with then just taking zeros for Hangman is what that says to me.
Oh my God.
yeah.
Because if he,
But I told him we've
But
already
how is that-
already voted. We've already voted.
How
We're
is that
changing
any
once a quarter.
different than not getting negative points? Because he actively knowing that he is going to be out.
well, we agreed when he drafted him though that
Well,
we
then
would be
why
giving
is
him
that?
zeros.
No, I'm not trying to make an argument. I'm just saying we got two different companies that were scoring the same way using
see,
the same rules.
because
Yeah,
the
what else are
reserve
we gonna do? We're
the
not gonna make
reserve
separate
was
rules for
meant
AEW.
the reserve was
Well, no, I'm
meant to
just
be
saying-
if somebody got hurt only. That was originally the rule that we put in place.
Right.
So if nobody gets hurt, then that's your roster until we do the shakeup. So and we've all agreed upon that. That was all
Okay,
agreed
all
upon.
right,
But
I'm just gonna
I
stop
see
there.
how we
I
can
don't
change it around.
Yeah.
But I like the changing it once because if somebody
No, I'm
gets
just
hurt.
saying.
If somebody gets hurt, then you have the opportunity then to go, oh, fuck, he's hurt. I can switch him. But then if he comes back, I can't move him back until the end of the quarter, right?
Right.
So that makes more sense to me.
Well, and I think that's why Cam's saying no. He doesn't have the full perspective of what we're talking about.
Well, I sent that message and said, we can change them once a quarter, but you can't change them back till the end of the quarter. That's already agreed upon. I feel like, we've all said, yes, that's cool.
But the frequency is what we're discussing now.
The frequency is the thing.
Is the discussion, right?
But
And
to
so-
me, I
so-
feel like the one move a quarter is more than sufficient.
more than plenty.
Yeah, but then if somebody gets hurt, then you should be allowed to, whoever your reserve is, if they're not hurt, you can put them in that slot that
Right.
whoever got hurt or inactive.
So what
So
happens
technically,
if your
you
reserve is-
could have two moves
Yeah.
if
So what
something bad
happens if your
happens.
reserve? What happens if your reserve is still hurt and one of your mains get hurt? Do you
I
then
think you're
pick off the
fucked.
free agency?
No, I think you have to wait until that.
Or you just got to go with a
shakeup.
4-man?
Unfortunately,
I thought we.
if
decided
your
that the
reserve is
4-man
hurt, if your reserve is hurt too, like damn, you drafted a bunch of pussies.
Jesus, Mike.
Hey man,
No, I think when we did speak previously, we would.
I think we said we can get one free agent, but you can't
Yeah.
get another reserve. I think that was what it was. Like you just have to ride that out. And hopefully, nobody else gets hurt on your team.
I
But
can
that-
understand where everyone's coming from, but just from where we started to just go to every single week you can swap them out now, and I think because we get the dirt sheets and you guys are very wrestling savvy and kind of know what's gonna fucking happen, it seems a little unfair to be like, oh, I know he's gonna lose that title, so I'm just gonna
take him out.
to
That's wrestling, baby. That's
Yeah,
all
but-
I'm saying.
No,
I
that's
agree with
fantasy
you, Mr.
football,
B.
bro.
right. It seemed because it's not it's a little too planned out to be able to make those changes in that way.
I feel like you should have to ride with it because even like we said, the one move was even kind of up in the air. But
Right.
I like the one move per quarter, and then you can't switch them back. That's it. Then once you make that move, you're locked into that, and that's it. Can't move them.
I mean, if you guys want to do it more frequently, I think once per month. But initially, AJ, when we brought that up to you, you were like, no. Like, your initial reaction was no to that.
I mean, I'd be cool with once a month
Because then that's once every 4 weeks. You know what I mean? You get
versus
to...
every week.
Right. versus once every 3 months, because that seems like
Well, hang on. So if we do that, then the shakeup is kind of
Pointless.
Pointless if we do that. You know what I mean? Like the shakeup wouldn't really.
I like the shakeup. We're not getting rid of the shakeup. The shakeup is
Well, the shakeup makes no sense then if we're just going to be swapping our players or
right,
our wrestlers
because part of
in
the
and out.
shakeup is, hey, do you want to take this person out of inactive and put them on your roster, and then
or
also
do you want to
want
pick
to
up
draft
somebody
someone
from
new?
free agency?
Right.
That's all I'm looking at. I'm looking at free agency
But moving
right
your
now.
dude from your inactive to your active roster is a move.
That's why I
So-
said you need to choose carefully, because we're going to pick these players and then we're going to ride this roster until the shakeup. And
Yeah.
then then we can make our 2 moves and flip our folks around and whatever we want to do, then we can go forward. But I feel like we should be locked into our rosters, minus that 1 move per quarter. It just seems like it would be more consistent, because then based on your based on your skills and who you choose, that's who you got for that quarter. And then if they don't pan out, then damn, that's fucked up. I fucked up.
The competitive part inside of all of us, just fire is burning, because we're like, no, I want to fucking win. No, I
Right.
want to win. So
Yeah.
how can I like move this around in a way? But yeah, I'm kind of like you, where it's like, okay, yeah, we are the bookers, but yeah, I want to see, all right, kid, go out and fly, and hopefully let's see if you do good or if you fucking sink, and you know what I mean, and kind of just see where your roster goes, and not necessarily care so much about. Yes, you want to care about points, but it's also, it's interesting to see who is better at picking people who are more hot versus not, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta probably get off of here soon, dude. It's already 10 o'clock, and I gotta leave here at 10:30. So.
Oh shit, you got to shower and
Yeah.
all that.
Yep. So I hate to leave you guys, but I'm going to get a tattoo finished. So
Nice. I can't wait.
you guys can continue on without me.
Well, I mean, do we want to end it there? Do we just want a cliffhanger
Yeah, we
and
can-
then we'll come back to it next week?
We can definitely
Because there's really nothing
hash
else.
it out offline. And,
Well, for
and
now,
we
I guess
can-
we're giving fucking Cam no points, because he's like, no, don't change it. So he's obviously okay with the 0. And then
Well,
we can reconvene next week and just
And then
lay
we'll
this all out
get a
to
true
him,
vote,
and-
because it'll be a 3-2 vote,
Right.
No matter which way.
Exactly.
And then and if Cam wants to bounce some ideas too, that it'll be fair that way. So we'll keep it the way it is right now. We'll put everything. We'll shelve it all. We'll keep it all kind of open. The
Yep.
book's open.
Yep.
And then when we come back next week, we will revisit this.
I think that's only fair.
We did. We did change the scoring bracket though a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So basically, anytime you come out in front of the live audience, whether it's a promo or not, that we said that should be 2 points. If you're out in front of the live crowd, that should be 2 points. Any backstage
Right.
or anything like that, that's 1 point.
Right, I agree.
Are you guys cool with that? So I just put live appearance +2, backstage +1.
Right. We
Is
said
that-
anything outside that's questionable all falls into that 1 point bracket, all the miscellaneous shit. So yes.
Right, but if you're out in the audience, like if you're
Yeah.
out in the crowd,
That's
then
where you
2
get the 2
points.
points.
Right.
Right.
You cool with that?
Okay. Well, beans.
That's the only
think we're
change
good.
that we made, but it was because we were kind of getting confused with the appearance, because it's like a tag team that has a singles match.
Oh, so it's 2 points for that now?
Yeah, because it's out in
Oh,
front of the
okay.
crowd. You know what I mean? So,
Okay.
I mean, if you're cool with that, you know what I
I'm
mean?
cool with that because that just doubles my points now. So yes, I'm cool with that. I always thought it was 1 point. Like when Randy fights Bobby Lashley, I'm getting 2 points for that instead of 1 now.
Yeah,
So,
because it's a live
okay.
appearance, right? It's
Before,
a live appearance.
before it
in
was
front of
1
the crowd.
point for that. But
Yeah,
cool, I'm down.
but it just seemed like it wasn't. I don't know. You're out in front of the crowd. It should be more than just a backstage. You know what I mean? So,
I agree.
all right, cool. Well, let's wrap this bitch up and send it home, and we'll come back next week.
Oh, thank you guys for having me in first appearance of AJ's Yard. I'm in the box, baby.
Dun-dun.
Dun-dun. I'll see you next week. You guys have a good week. Enjoy the rest of your time. Speak to you later.
Take her all.
Follow us at MACKDOWN Podcast. Later.
Yep. All right. It's a pleasure.
Hey man, we got some shit hashed out. That was a fiery one. I like that.
Mr. B, I'm on your team with that, bro. Every week, get straight to the motherfucking house, bro. Come on.
Hey, and if y'all can convince Cam, I'm 100%.
Well, I just don't.
Hey, you're gonna have to kick in or something. Not like right this second, but I feel the coffee kicking in, so If I talk too much, just kick me.
No.
We can go ahead and just get right into this if you guys want to.
Yeah.
Unless you don't have the points from last week.
I don't have the points from last
You
week.
motherfucker, man. I knew it.
know.
I knew it.
You knew it. You knew I did. I knew I did. Okay.
Yeah, because
Can't
it's pretty much a gang up every fucking time someone wants to vote something. And I'm
Well, you
not
gotta
saying
keep
we have
people
to.
If WWE was not wrestling, if it was not a wrestling show, that shit would have been booted off the fucking air a decade ago.
Yeah.
That's how bad the storylines in TV is. If it wasn't for the actual pro wrestling aspect of it, nobody would watch that shit, dude.
And
We might
here's
as
the
well
deal.
watch Teletubbies, bro.